Win or lose, it's how you play the game. With everything you got. No energy saved, no emotion held back.
That one is to left. They play shallow.
And that's what baseball is. A game. A kid's game that says summertime and the innocent time of life.
Ripped to right field. This one's deep, and it is gone.
That gives us moments to cherish and life lessons to follow forever.
Welcome to ESPN's coverage of the Little League World Series, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. It's another nice day here in suburban Indianapolis for this Midwest semifinal. Coon Rapids American Little League from Minnesota and the Iowa State champs, Grandview Little League from Des Moines. Here's the division at a glance. These kids are mostly 12 and 13 years old. Games are 6 innings long, played on a field about 2/3 the size of a major league field, and everyone is going to get in the game. Only 3 of the 6 teams are left in the Midwest. Minnesota and Iowa meet to see who plays Fargo, North Dakota tomorrow for a berth in the Little League World Series. Hi again, everybody. Clay Matvick back here in Westfield, Indiana. We're looking forward to a great day. The Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania starts 1 week from yesterday, and these two teams hope to be there. My partner, Chris Burke, is across the field with a couple of big stars from this game today, and I mean big.
Thanks, Clay. Yeah, I got a couple big dudes here. We got Blake Larson from the Iowa team and Mason Hoheisel from the Minnesota club. Now, Mason, you're a big dude who likes to hit home runs. Who's your favorite major league home run hitter and why?
Bryce Harper, because he hits a lot of long home runs.
Yeah, he hits definitely some tape measure balls. Now, Blake, you hit a grand slam yesterday. Who's your favorite dude and why? Who's your guy you like to see hit home runs?
Oh, Stanton, just because he's a big dude and he puts balls out at unreal velocity.
Yeah, he does. Yesterday, the hardest hit home run ever recorded. Okay, so because we're home run hitters, we're going to get a little home run forearm bash here to get this party started. You guys ready? Let's do it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, yeah. All right, Clay, back to you.
We're getting ready for a border battle here in Indiana. Minnesota versus Iowa. We'll meet the kids from the Twin Cities when we come back.
The Little League World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's, and in part by the Honda Odyssey, official vehicle of Little League since 1996.
Coon Rapids Andover American Little League from Minnesota, home to the Minnesota Twins. Some cute little twins ready to watch this game here in Indiana today. And the Coon Rapids Andover team has a set of twins. Let's meet the Little Leaguers from Minnesota.
I'm Blake Pemberton, manager of Coon Rapids Andover Little League. We're from Minnesota.
I'm Dave Miles, and I'm an assistant coach.
I'm assistant coach Ryan Pardo, and here's Team Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Sam Poser, and I like to go fishing.
Hi, I'm Jack Clough, and I'm about big business.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stenzel, and I'm from Minnesota, so I like hunting.
I'm Jane Kopp, and I like to take dubs in Fortnite.
Hi, I'm Anthony Pardo, and I'm the champion flosser.
I'm Henry Mayos, and danger's my middle name, literally.
Hi, my name's Chris Pemberton, and I like to hit home runs. Kaboom!
Hi, I'm Luke Denicky, and I like getting dirty playing baseball.
I'm Mason Hoheisel, and I'm cooler than my brother.
I'm Dylan Kirshner, and I love to play catcher.
Hi, I'm Evan Frecking, and I mind the gaps in center field.
Hi, I'm Max Hoheisel, and I like to do the cha-cha.
I'm Zach Novak, and I come in clutch.
We've already met one of the Hoheisel twins. Now you've seen them both. A lot of fun to talk to. All right, congratulations to Coon Rapids Andover getting here for the third straight year. They've got a tough test today. They're going to face a good pitcher in Connor Duong from Team Iowa.
Yeah, Connor Duong has 2 innings pitched in this regional so far. A couple walks, 3 punch-outs. We'll see if he can handle the boys from Minnesota. Nickname is CD. CD on the bump today with a with probably the biggest start of his young career.
Minnesota beat Missouri 4-0 and Kansas 11-1, but then lost to North Dakota on Wednesday 6-0. First loss for Coon Rapids Andover since the start of district play. It's going to be interesting, Chris, to see how they respond today, because when we talked to him shortly after that loss. Heads were down a little bit. Only the second loss in the last couple of years for this all-star bunch.
Yeah, not a team that's used to losing, so we'll see how they respond. I'm sure they were anxious to get back out here and play a little ball.
Minnesota 2-1. They were able to play a lot of runs in the first two games. None against Fargo, North Dakota on Wednesday. Fargo is in the title game tomorrow. Winner of this one will meet the All-Stars from North Dakota. Here we go. Leadoff man Luke Deneke. First pitch is outside. Luke Deneke has 4 hits in regional play this week here in Westfield. He swings at the second pitch. It's a fairly deep to right field. Played well by Embry. 1 up, 1 down.
For Minnesota, the pitcher, number 7, Anthony Pardo.
Now Anthony Pardo comes up to the plate. Talk about a guy having a big week, Chris. 6 for 9 at the plate with a couple of doubles and 3 runs batted in. And we're going to also see him on the mound today.
Yeah, he has put on a show. And in a tournament where we've seen some teams struggle with the bats, the boys from Minnesota have really swung it well, led by Mr. Pardo.
Pardo puts it in play. Ground ball to Watson. That's Brody Watson over at first base for Iowa. Big kid, handles the glove well. And 2 quick outs for Minnesota here in the top of the first.
Yeah, Duong filling up the zone. Exactly what his coaching staff was looking for early in this ball game.
And the number 3 hitter, Jack Clough. He's got 3 hits in regional play. The 1-0 pitch to the Clougher is on the outside corner. Ball and a strike. You coach a lot of youth baseball, Chris, and this is a guy that's really come into his own this year. He had a breakout season, you might say. Played only part-time last year. Now he's the number 3 hitter in the order.
Yeah, you love to see players just continue to develop. You just never know at this age.
Swings and misses here, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Connor Duong. First strikeout for Duong, and now Iowa will come up to the plate for the first time.
No runs, no hits, nobody left.
Hit count for Iowa, Connor Duong,
20 balls out, bud.
Minnesota scoreless in the top half of the first. Iowa will get their chance. Let's meet the boys from Iowa.
Hi, I'm Matt Cooner, manager, Grandview Little League All-Stars out of Des Moines, Iowa.
Hi, I'm Josh Stewart, and I'm the assistant coach.
I'm Danny Watson, another assistant coach. Now let's meet the team.
Hi, my name's Aiden Bennett, and I like to hang out with my friends in Little League.
My name is Matthew McCray Jr., and I like to wrestle.
My name is Gage Schucher, and I like to make trouble for my siblings.
Hi, my name's Kobe Cooner, and I like to golf.
4! 2 more.
Hi, my name's Braden Shutt, and I like girls.
My name is Connor DeWong, and I like to collect hats.
My name is Cade Byers, and I like to collect shoes.
My name is Roddy Watson, and I throw gas.
Hi, I'm Jason Embry, and I like to bowl.
Hold on just a sec before you get in the box.
My name is Trenton Tharp, and I like to play wiffle ball in my backyard.
My name's Maddox O'Connor, and I like to fish. I got one, boys!
Yeah! Hi, my name's Alex Stewart, and I love going to Wrigley Field.
My name's Deshaun Childers, and I love chicken. Bok, 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 bok.
My name's Blake Larson, and I drop bombs.
Grandview Little League has won the Iowa State Championship in 4 of the last 9 years. They're back here. 1 win away from the title game in the Midwest. Connor Duong blowing one. Or Anthony Pardo, I should say, blowing one by Connor Duong to start this inning. Anthony Pardo on the mound, his 3rd appearance and his 2nd start here in the regional.
Long, loose arm. We know he's having a fantastic tournament with the bat. Also very talented on the mound.
During the introductions for Team Iowa, we saw Matthew McCray Jr., who's not available to play here today, wearing a mask to cover the swelling around his eye. He has a broken eye socket, broken cheekbone, broken nose. That was suffered in a game earlier this week here in the regional. It's the 2nd time he's been hit in the face in the last 3 months. He's had a tough summer.
Yeah, but he's a tough kid. And you can tell that the boys are rallying around him. Certainly feel bad for the unfortunate incident, but he's kind of become the rallying cry for this club.
After the Duong strikeout, it's Maddox O'Connor now at the plate for Iowa. Having a great regional, 5 for 9 at the plate, and also has a complete game shutout on the mound to his credit. We saw that yesterday. His first mound appearance in the regional. Went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, walked 1, and struck out 6.
Yeah, he put on a show yesterday. With the bat, on the mound, he was a star. Pardo can't quite get the outside corner going against O'Connor, but I tell you one thing I'm noticing with O'Connor here, Clay, is that stride is really going left on him. Watch that lead foot. And I don't remember that yesterday. I don't know if he's uncomfortable against Pardo or what, but if Pardo can get it to the outside edge, it's going to be tough for O'Connor to handle with that stride falling left on him.
Full count. Grandview rooting section. Hit in the air right side. Foul ground. Hoheisel will look at it, and it's going to get into that bullpen over there on the right field side. What a day yesterday for Iowa. 14-0 over Kansas. They won it in 5 innings because of the run rule. They collected 11 hits, and then, of course, the complete game shutout by O'Connor. They're hoping to get a rematch with Fargo as O'Connor works a walk. So a strikeout for Pardo and a walk given up. First base runner for Iowa.
For Iowa, the center fielder, 77, Blake Larson.
And now Blake Larson comes up. You like this guy.
Yeah, there's just a lot to like about him.
Swings at the first pitch, slow roller to third. Poser goes to second. They get the force there. And they're 2 down. And now Brody Watson comes up.
Yeah, they hit home runs out of the 3 and 4 hole yesterday. Larson hit a grand slam, and Brody Watson hit a bomb, a moon ball to center field up by our camera tower. One of the longest home runs hit all week.
It's the only hit Watson has this week during regional play. But he's demonstrated throughout the summer for Iowa that he's got the best power on the team. And he was dealing with a stomach flu on Wednesday, the day we talked to the team. His dad was hoping he would be available to play. Danny Watson, one of the assistant coaches. He has come back strong, no doubt.
Yes, he did.
He went around. That's a strike. Ball gets away, and Larson lopes to second.
One ball, 2 strikes.
There's Danny Watson. Matt Coonert is the manager. Josh Stewart, the other assistant coach.
Please return that foul ball to
Matt
your
Coonert, a
dugout.
44-year-old cable contractor and baseball coach. He's now working with Little League. The amount of time that these guys put in, especially when you make a long run. Strike Strike on the outside corner. Watson goes down looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Pardo, and Iowa strands a runner.
Yeah, a nice job of bouncing back with a big breaking ball, perfectly located on the outside corner. Scoreless through 1.
Claymatric Chris Burke back here in Westfield, Indiana. Semifinals of the Midwest Regional. And the winner of this one between Minnesota and Iowa will take on Fargo, North Dakota tomorrow for the right to go to Williamsport. Both of these teams have a loss this week to Fargo. So North Dakota awaits, and they haven't played since Wednesday. That'll be an almost 3-day layoff. It'll be interesting to see if that will be an issue for the kids from Fargo tomorrow.
Yeah, well, you can tell how talented that team is. They've beaten both the teams that have a shot to play them already. They certainly had a tough road.
Mason Hoheisel, a liner to center, played nicely by Larson. And the 6'2" first baseman is out. Man, he's an impressive physical specimen.
That's a big kid, size 14 shoe. But yeah, that North Dakota team, both teams that have already advanced to the finals here in the Central region, the Michigan club out of the Great Lakes region and the North Dakota team here out of the Midwest, are really talented teams, and they will be fully rested.
Ground ball to short.
Oh, nice play.
O'Connor got a tough hop, hung in there, shows off his arm, 2 away, and 5 set down by Duong to start here for Iowa.
Wow, I like the way he adjusted to this hop. This ball gets right off the lip. Watch him back up and get to the side of the baseball. The best way to be able to read that hop is to play it just off to the side so you get good depth perception. A nice play right there by Maddox O'Connor.
The pitching and defense, especially this year because of the way the bats are playing, a big key to who's going to get to Williamsport.
Yeah, you're probably not going to erase a whole bunch of errors with a couple long balls. It's much tougher to get the ball out of the yard. So the teams that pitch and defend certainly have an advantage.
Now Connor Duong,
Please return that foul ball to the first base.
starting for the 2nd time on the mound. Beat Missouri on Tuesday, out to a great start here against Minnesota. He gets a strikeout of Dylan Kirshner, his 2nd strikeout. And 6 in a row set down by the Iowa right-hander.
Sharp. Boy, is he sharp to start this ball game. Good life on this 2-seam fastball sinking down in the zone.
Congratulations to all the state champs who made it to the Midwest Regional this year. 6 teams came to Westfield, down to 3 remaining. And the state of Iowa, by the way, has sent the most teams to Williamsport than any other state in the Midwest since 2001. That's when this regional was created. And 7 times Iowa has come out of here. They have a chance to do it again. They're in a battle with the team from Minnesota. You see the last 5 champs out of this regional. And last year, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, in their first year as a chartered Little League.
Boy, and they were good.
Got out of here and went on to Williamsport. Johnston, Iowa, a couple of years ago, represented the Hawkeye State. They went 2-1 in Williamsport. They had a great showing then. Alex Stewart leading it off for Iowa. Stewart, the 3rd baseman. 5'8", 140-pound, 13-year-old. His dad, Josh, is one of the assistant coaches.
Ball.
Alex Stewart, a very good contact hitter, and he should be because he works so hard at it. His dad put a batting cage in the basement. Comebacker. Picked up by the shortstop, Deneke. Wow. Great throw and pick at first by Hoheisel. Wow, that was a big league play.
That was a top-rate play on both ends right there. Range, a quick release, accurate throw. Watch him. Watch the first step. Gets a good crossover step. Does a nice job of getting low to the baseball, quick with the release, and it's always nice to have the big fella showing you some stretch on the back end there. Big-time play by Luke Deneke to start the inning.
We're going to get our first pinch hitter of the game. Cade Byers is going to bat in Kobe Coonert's spot. Of course, there's re-entry in Little League, so Coonert is still in the game. Cade Byers, 1 for 2 in the regional. It's been a good bat off the bench for Grandview Little League. I think the players or the parents are more nervous this time of year.
It seems to be the parents.
That shot, I would agree with you.
It seems to be the parents.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball.
Tried to clip the outside corner and missed off the plate.
Pardo's he's just a good-looking young pitcher. I mean, you see the length and the fluidity with which he moves. The kids aren't getting a good look at it. You see a lot of the lead stride foots are bailing left.
That did catch the outside corner. Called strike 3, and Byers is retired. 2 down.
It just doesn't appear to be a real comfortable at bat for the kids from Iowa. You can see Byers' stride falling left too, and if Pardo can keep hitting the outside corner, he's going to get a lot of backwards Ks on the scorecard.
Another pinch hitter, Gage Schucher. We saw Matt Coonert do this yesterday. Pinch hits most of his guys as early as the 2nd inning. Of course, there's the mandatory play rule in Little League Baseball. Iowa has 13 players on the roster, so everybody on the roster will get an at-bat.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, if the kids from Iowa are already uncomfortable, one to the backstop will always make you question whether you need to dig in or not.
Raise the hair on the back of your neck.
Yeah, you can see Schucher was kind of backing out there, and I think Pardo's got him feeling a little antsy up there.
Schucher ahead in the count, 3-1. Hit on the ground, backhanded by Hoheisel. Great glove work by the 6'2" first baseman from Minnesota this inning. Plucked one out of the dirt and then makes a nice backhand play there to end the inning. No score after 2. The international field is almost complete for Williamsport, which starts next week. Team Canada will be figured out on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll know who the Canadian representative will be, but there is the international field. Tickets punched. We've got 2 in the United States. The Southeast and the Southwest have been claimed. Check swing by the leadoff man, Henry Mayos. Mayos is out as Duong hops off the mound to make the play.
Well, we've seen back-to-back days where Iowa's had their shortstop, one of their 2 shortstops on the mound. And this is an athletic play by a kid who can play shortstop as well. Hop off the mound, bare hand, and flip all in one motion. Quick first out. He is filling it up, isn't he?
Yes. Two strikes to Sam Poser. Poser, a couple of hits in this regional. He's 2 for 3. He's been a very good defender at third base. That's up and in, 1-2.
Oh.
That's another strikeout. The catcher Shutt throws down. 3rd strikeout for Connor Duong. He's had 1 each inning.
Yeah, and he's not throwing a ton of breaking balls, but the ones that he has have been very good. That was a sharp, late-breaking curveball that you can see Poser just didn't get a very good look at. Perfectly located.
So the first 8 Minnesota hitters have been retired, and now Evan Fracking, the 9-hole man, who's playing center field today, gets his first whack.
Ball.
Buckled on the curve. It stays inside. It's 2-1. Evan Fracking tall, lanky kid for Team Minnesota. You know, we assumed that there were going to be a lot of hockey players on this team. When we asked, there were only a few. Fracking plays hoops during the winter.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Line drive, base hit. And Minnesota finally has an answer for Duong. And it comes from the 9-hole hitter, Evan Fracking, a 2-out single here in the third.
Well, that has to breathe a little life into the boys from Minnesota. Finally, somebody on base. Comes from the 9-hole hitter. Fracking gets a ball out over the plate. Rips it into right field and finally got something going.
Deneke trying to follow suit. Hard line drive. The second baseman, Coon, can't play it cleanly. 2 on, 2 out. That's going to be ruled a base hit.
And I like the approach right there by Deneke. You go up there ready to hit. Duong's filling up the strike zone. No reason to wait around. And Coonert can't quite finish that play, and here they go. 2 on and 2 out for their hottest hitter.
And the only left-handed hitter in the Minnesota lineup, Anthony Pardo, comes up for the second time. He grounded out to the first baseman his last time up. He had 2 of Minnesota's 6 hits against North Dakota on Wednesday. So he's been swinging a pretty good bat. Minnesota would like to see him deliver here again.
Well, he's got a perfect situation. 2 on and a 2-0 count.
Ground ball to the third baseman, Stewart. Nice play, gets the force. Minnesota threatens, but they come up empty against Connor Duong. We played 2.5, still scoreless. Welcome back to the Little League World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Semifinal in the Midwest between Minnesota and Iowa. We're scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third. Alongside former Little Leaguer and Big Leaguer Chris Burke, I'm Clay Matthew. And we're going to get another pinch hitter for Team Iowa. Trenton Tharp is going to bat in the 8-hole. We have seen Matt Coonert use his subs early throughout this regional. Some coaches elect to wait an inning or 2 later. It's certainly a topic that we can discuss. You know, when it comes to the mandatory play rule, some coaches have different tactics. How would you do it?
Well, I actually like this method probably best. Number one, it allows the kids that aren't out in the field to kind of get the butterflies out early. You don't make them wait around all day, right? And it's a more predictable situation from a score standpoint. I mean, to me, it seems like a big ask to ask these kids to hit 4th, 5th, 6th inning when the game might be right in the most critical moment, as opposed to letting them have a bat with maybe a little less pressure, maybe a little less tension early in the ball game. So, you know, the more I see this method, the more I'm becoming a fan of it.
Well, it's a leadoff walk for Trenton Tharp, so he does a good job off the bench. The 4th straight pinch hitter is going to be called on here for Team Iowa. There's the mandatory play rule. Iowa has 13 players on its roster, so each player has to bat once. 12 or fewer, and not only would they have to bat once, but then play 6 defensive outs. Some teams have that situation to deal with.
Yeah, both teams here fall under the minimum 1 plate appearance rule. Both teams have 13, so we'll see the boys from Minnesota pinch hit here eventually as well.
Sean Childers at the plate now. That gets to the screen off the glove of Kitchener. Childers, a walk and a run scored against Kansas for Team Iowa yesterday.
No balls, 2 strikes.
He's behind in the count, 0-2. Tharp now in scoring position, and that's a strikeout.
Stop, man.
Pardo with his 4th strikeout. 1 away and back to the top of the order.
With 1 on and 1 out, back to the top of the Iowa order. Number 7, the pitcher, Connor Duong.
Connor Duong, a strikeout victim, his first time up.
Ball.
Duong has done a terrific job on the mound for Iowa. Minnesota was able to get a couple of hits in the top of the 3rd inning, didn't put anything across. Hits this hard down the right field line, but foul.
One.
The 1-1. It stays high.
Let's see the swings they get here second time through. That was a really well-hit ball down the right field line by DeWong that just kind of sliced foul on him, but Pardo certainly won the battle first time through.
Pardo, a couple of walks in this game. 3-1 to DeWong, the leadoff man. That's up high. Second walk this inning, 2 on, 1 out. Here comes Iowa.
Well, you walk a couple guys headed to the middle of this order, and you're asking for it. Coach is going to come out and have a conversation here.
Okay, go after these guys and get us out of here. No, nothing's wrong right now, okay? You got this. Everyone in here believes in you, man. Okay, let's go. Come on. Come on.
Blake Pemberton, 38-year-old IT manager. He's been coaching youth baseball in Minnesota for a long time, and he's had a lot of success with this particular group of all-stars. Trying to cheer Anthony Pardo up, root him on here. Pep talk is over, and now Pardo will work to Maddox O'Connor. Fly ball, right center field. The center fielder Frecking will make the catch. Get it back in quickly, 2 down. Well, Pemberton's words got a quick reaction, and it's a positive one for Team Minnesota.
Yeah, and again, I think with the way O'Connor's stepping open today, if Pardo can continue to keep that ball away from him, he'll get into the back contact like he got right there. And now still one very big out left to get here in the bottom of the third.
Blake Larson is not an easy out. This gets to the screen. Kitchener has to chase. Second and third now for Iowa. Blake Larson, the fielder's choice today, but he has had a great regional. 6 hits overall. A home run and 7 runs batted in. He had a grand slam in the 3rd inning yesterday against Kansas. And he smokes this one to left center. That's going to clear the bases. 2 runs are going to score. Larson will stop at second with a 2-run double. And Iowa's on the board.
Yeah, you just had a feeling those walks were going to hurt Anthony Pardo. You walk guys in front of O'Connor and Larson, and they will make you pay. And this young man just has a great feel for how to square the baseball up. Does a really good job of getting the barrel in the zone early. We saw him use the whole field yesterday. Today, again, going to the backside for a 2 RBI double.
He is a star.
Yes.
He had the game-winning RBI against Webb City. He's great on the mound in that game, too. Struck out 10.
9 RBIs in this regional.
And he's got 9 ribbies in regional play. Another good hitter, Brody Watson at the dish for Iowa.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Struck out his first time up.
You know, I don't care what sport, at what level. If you're in a championship environment, you have got to have big contributions from your best players. And to be able to have Larson come up with 2 on and 2 out and get a double is a huge shot in the arm for the boys from Iowa.
It's just foul outside of the bag.
You're going up against a pitcher as talented as Pardo. You need your best hitters to give you good at-bats.
Okay.
Swung on and missed, and Pardo gets out of the inning without any further damage. Just 1 hit in the inning, but 2 walks beforehand set the table for Blake Larson, who's got 9 ribbies in the regional. Iowa leads Minnesota 2-0. Sunday Night Baseball this week, presented by Taco Bell, will be coming to you from Wrigley Field. Always fun there. Bryce Harper and the Nationals taking on the Cubs in the finale of that 3-game set. Coverage begins on ESPN at 7 Eastern with Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown, presented by Chevrolet And the game will follow at 8 o'clock. Cubs 2 games in front of the Brewers in the NL Central, thanks in part to Chris Bryant's play at third base. He was a Little Leaguer in Vegas back in the day. Anthony Rizzo was a Little Leaguer in Parkland, Florida. And how about that? He was wearing a Cubs uniform way back then.
You never know.
You played for St. Matthew's Little League in Louisville, who we got to see last night in the Great Lakes Regional. Did you have major league teams as your mascot?
No, we weren't. We didn't have major league teams as our mascot. We used the sponsors. So I played for
Chico's Bail Bonds,
Wagner Electric. We were red and gold.
And you played well.
Well, yeah, we had fun.
Jack Clough leading it off here for Coon Rapids Andover Little League.
One of the cool things they did at St. Matthew's Little League that it was just like when you're 11 and 12 was like the biggest thing ever. They kept a running total of the home run leaders in the league, and they would post it by the concession stand. So
where were you on
everybody
that
list? Knew, where they stood. Well, my 11-year-old year, I wasn't real high on that list, but my 12-year-old year, I was in the mix, and then old Trip Williams ran away from me. The 24-game season, Tripp had 18 homers.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Well, here's a guy coming up to the plate, Mason Hoheisel, who can certainly leave the yard. And he's got a runner on as Jack Clough draws a walk. Minnesota got to Connor Duong a little bit last inning with back-to-back hits. We'll see now as they're in the meat of their order if they can break the ice against Duong.
Well, a leadoff walk shows that maybe he's starting to run out of gas a little bit, maybe. I mean, just 35 pitches, but here he is 2-0 again. I mean, as sharp as he was early, this is as wobbly as we've seen him, and Coach Coon's going to come out for a conversation.
Hey, we got a lead for you. Let's refocus. Forget about the last 6 pitches, okay? Let's focus from here on out. Hey, find your footing. Slow down. Focus on your target a little bit longer, all right? Visualize your pitch, then let it go here. Hey, everybody, be ready. Let's turn 2 up the middle here. Come on, you got this.
Coach Coonert setting the reset button.
Look, Maddox O'Connor coaching him up. I love it. I think that was more of a visit to the mound for Maddox O'Connor than it was for Coach Coonert. That's a coach on the field right there, the star of yesterday's game.
So 6 out of the zone in a row by Duong. And another one that just misses down, 3-0. And walk to Clough, the first given up by Duong.
Well, look how far from the plate Hoheisel stands. I mean, he is way off that thing.
It's fouled off, 3-2. So Duong battles back. Mason Hoheisel has Minnesota's only home run this week. It was a grand slam on Monday against Kansas. He's also their #1 pitcher. We could see him potentially pitch the title game should Minnesota advance. Ground ball back up the middle, through for a base hit. 3rd hit for the Minnesotans. And they've got 2 on, nobody out here in the 4th inning, down 2 runs.
Well, Duong did a nice job of battling back there and getting into the count. Hoheisel shoots it up the middle. Fastball kind of right down Broadway. Minnesota got a shot now in the 4th.
Chase Pemberton swings at the first pitch. He'll dump it into right field. Base is loaded. And nobody out. Kirshner is scheduled to hit next. Now keep in mind, Minnesota has not used any substitutes yet. So they're going to have to start doing that soon. And we may see a pinch hitter now. Yeah, it's going to be Jaden Kopp. Kopp to hit in Kirshner's spot.
Number 5, Jaden Kopp.
Well, it's getting interesting here, Clay. Bases loaded, down by 2. Kopp gets a chance off the bench to make a big impact in this ball game.
Kopp pulls it foul. Jaden Kopp, the backup catcher. And as a pinch hitter with the bases loaded, this could be the turning point of this ballgame.
I tell you, I like what I've seen from him. Comes out swinging. 2 very aggressive swings to start this at bat.
The 0-2, swung on and missed. As Duong goes upstairs, and Kopp couldn't catch up with it. 1 out. And Max Hoheisel, Mason's twin brother, will get a chance to hit here. They are fraternal twins. And them
Taking over
may go without saying.
at second base as a special pinch runner, number 21, Dylan Kirshner.
Kirshner is going to run
And pinch hitting for Minnesota,
out at second
number
base.
31, Max
Mason
Hoheisel.
Hoheisel, and his twin brother Max Hoheisel will bat in Henry Mayos' spot.
You all right?
And the catcher,
Good?
a little issue. We got some dust in the eye. Shut appears to be okay. We're going to continue here. Max Hoheisel jumps on the first pitch and spins it on a play foul. How many groceries do you think the Hoheisel family goes through?
I hope they live
on a
close
given
to a
week?
Costco.
Another foul ball, checked his swing, didn't mean to.
I tell you got to give Connor Duong a lot of credit. The bases are loaded. He's holding on to a 2-run lead, and he doesn't start nibbling. He has attacked both of these last 2 hitters back to what we saw early in the ball game, which is just filling up the strike zone with 2 quality pitches.
Hoheisel lays off. Max Hoheisel and Mason Hoheisel, twin brothers on this Minnesota team. Their dad, Tony, works security for the Minnesota Twins, as it happens.
I think you go back to the breaking ball right here. Hoheisel did not have a real good look at the earlier one.
Strike 3 called right down the middle. Big strikeout for Duong. 2 down. Zach Novak will pinch hit.
Pinch hitting for Minnesota, number 48, Zach Novak.
Novak 0 for 3 here in the regional, but has a golden opportunity here to be a hero for Minnesota. Bases loaded. Trailing 2-0 in the 4th inning. We play 6 innings in Little League.
Actually cost him a strike right there. Shutt standing up, wanting to climb the ladder, and Duong threw it down in the zone. I think he'd have probably gotten that call had Shutt not stood up. Duong continues to fill it up.
1-1 to Novak, sprayed foul. Novak wears number 48. That's the number Torrey Hunter wore. That's his favorite player, of course. No longer plays. He's broadcasting now, doing a pretty good job in Minnesota.
I bet he is.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Not a nicer guy than Torrey Hunter. The 1-2. Now Novak swinging pretty well off the bat.
Yeah, all these kids have come up aggressively. Granted, Hoheisel got caught looking at strike 3, but they've all taken their hacks. And this is just one of those situations where you run into where your pinch hitters end up in these huge moments looking for one big swing.
That got away from Duong. Good job by Shutt to keep it in front. Two balls and 2 strikes. Hit hard. Off the base runner, and that's going to end the inning. Wow. Pemberton couldn't get out of the way of that screamer off the bat of Novak, and Minnesota has some bad luck in the 4th. They load him up, but come up empty.
Yeah, this was going to be a really hard play for Brody Watson. He may have made it, but we will never know. The ball hits Pemberton, and Iowa gets off the field with a huge 3rd out with the shutout still intact.
Catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including how to visit Williamsport and get scores, stats, highlights, and more. Visit littleleague.org or follow along on social media with hashtag LLWS. My good friend Chris Burke. We play Matvick here in Westfield, Indiana.
We're good friends now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, we've done
Glad
this
I've
how many years
graduated
in a
to
row
that.
now? About
Yeah.
6? By Saturday night, though, I'll be done with it.
We'll just be ish friends.
Well, I'll tell you, this Iowa team's in good shape now. They dodge a bullet. In the top of the 4th, as Minnesota loaded him up but couldn't score. This is Alex Stewart grounding to short. Nice play by Deneke. 1 up, 1 down.
Deneke has been solid at shortstop. And it must be nice to have a 6'2" target over at first to throw to, but they're playing that position with a lot of conviction today. Fun to see.
Kobe Coonert will hit for himself now after being pinch hit for in the 2nd inning. Iowa has taken care of its mandatory play obligations. At least in the way of the subs. The starters, they're still working through getting those guys their at-bats, but they will.
I tell you what, managing a Little League team requires a bunch of strategy. I mean, there is a number of different ways you can go.
It is a challenge.
Oh, it's way harder than being an American League manager. You kidding me?
Where you have the DH and everything.
You run a lineup out there and occasionally change a pitcher. Right? You want to be a Little League manager. Now that's work.
Pardo's pitch is sent to left field. Clough goes back and then comes back in to make the catch for Coon Rapids Andover Little League out of Minnesota. And they're 2 down here in the Iowa 4th. You know, it was just a tough break for Coon Rapids in the top of the inning. Novak, a pinch hitter, hit it about as hard as you can with the bases loaded. Chase Pemberton couldn't get out of the way of it.
No, and look, I mean, it was no fault of his own. It was a bad break. And we don't know. Watson might have made the play anyway, but certainly if you're from Minnesota, you'd have loved to see if he would have or not.
Here's Braden Shutt at the plate for Iowa. That ever happened to you when you were playing in Little League or maybe even in the majors where you were at the plate and you had a...
It happened once in college.
Situation.
And I think I was 0 for 3 in the day, and I hit a ground ball at my buddy Ryan Case. He didn't do it on purpose, but it hit him. I was so happy.
Frecking can't make the catch in center. That was a tough play for the Minnesota outfielder. Braden Shutt pumping his fist over there at first base as he's aboard with a 2-out single.
I had no clue that you get a hit for that. Right? So at first, but as we see, Frecking trying to make a play, and boy, he just came up a touch short. Shutt's all fired up. We know him. He's Mr. Personality. Look at him. He's geeked out of his mind.
You interviewed him yesterday.
Just a ball of energy. And I tell you what, he can really catch.
Yeah.
Been watching him in between innings, has a really quick release.
He's only about 4'11", but plays a lot bigger than that. He's very vocal. One of the team leaders for sure. Aiden Bennett. He's going to get off the glove of Kitchener. He has to go back to the backstop. On to second is Shutt. He ruled a pass ball. A ball and 2 strikes to Aiden Bennett, the Iowa left fielder. We'll have to add some insurance here to the Iowa 2-0 lead. Winner plays Fargo, North Dakota tomorrow. North Dakota has a team in this regional for the first time since 1986. Usually the North Dakota Little Leaguers get bounced out by South Dakota. Not this year. Bennett strikes out. And it stays a 2-0 game. We head to the 5th here in Westfield.
The whole half of the 4th inning for Iowa. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left.
In the Midwest.
It has been a really nice job by both pitchers. Minnesota struggling. They just couldn't quite get the runs across when they had the bases loaded. Connor DeLong answered the bell. got him out of a bases-loaded jam and is poised to get his team to the finals with a couple more good innings.
So Minnesota down a couple. They have 6 outs to work with, but they still have to use one of their bench guys, and I think they're going to do it right away here to start the 5th. Yeah, Chuck Stenzel is walking to the plate, and he has really been a pinch-hitting star for Coon Rapids Andover Little League. Throughout the entire summer, he has hit well. 1 for 3 in this regional. Hoping to get on board here against Connor Duong. Connor Duong still has 30 pitches to work with, Chris. 85 is the maximum he can throw. He's at 55, make it 56 now. And he's ahead in the count here, 2 strikes.
Yeah, he was so good early in the ballgame that even though the 4th was much more of a challenge, he's definitely in a position to throw a complete game here.
Line drive, down the line, base hit. Could be extra bases, but Stenzel is going to play it conservatively. Holds it first. The leadoff man is on in the 5th for Minnesota.
How about that? 2-strike base hit. Chuck Stenzel does a nice job of staying on a pitch that was right on the outside corner. And here comes Minnesota again.
And they're at the top of the order. Their best hitters coming up, Luke Deneke, who is 1 for 2 in this game and has 5 hits in the regional at the plate. Long starts him out. Pitch inside. Minnesota last inning loaded up the bases but couldn't score. Popped up. Right center.
Oh,
what a play by Mayos. Diving catch. And Deneke is an out. And Frecking, who's pinch running, has to scurry back to first.
How about Chase Embry out in right field, laying out for this ball, taking it away from what looked to be an absolute no man's land pop-up. And you know Connor Duong's loving that. You can exhale there, buddy. That one looked like it was bound for open land.
Another fly ball to center. Larson, he can't make a play. Now there are 2 on with 1 out. Anthony Pardo going to get a hit.
Boy, and as good a play as that was by Jace Embry, Larson certainly could have had this one. Broke back and then tried to make up for it. Unable to do so. And they give 1 back right there.
Jack Clough swings at the first pitch. Another fly ball to the outfield. And Embry will make another catch. He called that an infield fly anyhow. So Clough is retired quickly. And here comes big Mason Hoheisel again.
First baseman Mason Hoheisel.
Hoheisel 1 for 2 with a single his last time. Minnesota continues to get opportunities. Can they cash in here in the 5th? Fly ball. Foul ground. It's going to drift out of play.
Trying to climb the ladder on the big fella. You got to go way up there to climb the ladder on him. Look at the size difference between Hoheisel and Shutt. Isn't that awesome?
The 2 strikes.
Is that 1.5 feet?
Yeah, it's got to be close to that.
Check swing.
The catcher Shutt keeping his coach Cooner in line. He was wanting to check swing. He didn't realize the ball had been foul tipped.
Please return that foul ball.
All right, they climbed the ladder, went with the breaking ball. Now they climb the ladder again. I think you go back to that breaking ball right here. What you don't want to do is leave something up where Hoheisel can hit a 3-run homer. Oof.
This is a couple of pitches ago. Look at shot. He didn't even get in his crouch.
Yeah, and him standing straight up might still be a strike for Hoheisel.
This is clubbed to center, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. Larson coming in, can't make the catch. 1 run will score. And safe at home is Pardo. We're tied up.
Wow, and Larson's talking to his right fielder, Embry, saying that he couldn't see it. He's got his sunglasses on a day that's not particularly sunny. This is a moon ball into center field, and it looked like he just never got a beat on it. The body language didn't seem that he lost it, but he never was underneath the baseball. And what a break for Minnesota on what looked like Iowa was going to get out of another jam. They tie it up on a fly ball to center field.
Balls hit to the outfield have been an issue here for Iowa this inning.
Balls, 2 strikes.
And when it first left the bat for Hoheisel, I think he thought he got more of it. Still ends up driving in 2. Minnesota ties this game up. We go to the bottom of the 5th. A brand new game here in Indiana.
Minnesota in the top of
The Little League World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Great dancers, these Little Leaguers, especially here in the Midwest Regional. Iowa and Minnesota, it's a brand new game, tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Winner faces Fargo, North Dakota tomorrow for a right to go to Williamsport. North Dakota hasn't played since Wednesday. They have beaten both Minnesota and Iowa. So tomorrow should be interesting, regardless of who comes out of this one. A little trouble in the outfield for Iowa last half inning. Minnesota able to tie it up.
Blake Larson trying to explain to his coaches what's going on out there in center field. A couple balls he just did not judge very well.
For Iowa, number 20, right fielder Jace Embry.
Jace Embry leads off the 5th. Hits it hard. The second baseman, Pemberton, over to Mason Hoheisel. 1 pitch, 1 out. And you look at Pardo's pitch count now, and he's actually in a pretty good spot too. He's got 19 to work with.
He's got to feel like he's got a new lease on life out there after his boys picked him up with a 2 spot.
Back to the top of the order, Connor Duong.
Well, that's a good-looking move Connor Duong makes. It just is a very polished-looking move to get ready to swing. Really relaxed, on time with his leg kick. Almost Justin Turner-like. Just relaxed, kind of low hands, really smooth with the way he gathers at the top. Watch how slow and easy he gets to the top. See, he's definitely trying to work up through that ball. Just a little low with the barrel on that one. Good-looking young player, though. Done a nice job on the mound. Was good at shortstop yesterday.
He's only 12. 5'3", 118 pounds. You talk about projectable frames. He's got one, too.
No doubt. No doubt. You can tell he's as comfortable as any of the hitters have been off Pardo today.
Full count, payoff. Popped up. Right field. Foul ground. And unplayable. That is Danger Mayos. He didn't want anything to do with that tarp.
Yeah, you know, if Danger's your middle name, we got to see like an Eric Burns move into the tarp right there. You know what I mean? Hit
hard into center field. That's a base hit for Duong. That was a good at-bat for Connor Duong, the leadoff man for Iowa, the starting pitcher today.
That young man's got a chance to be a player now. Well, that's just a beautiful move. Fastball up in the zone. He rips it right back up the middle. That young man's going to be a player.
Max O'Connor's pretty good, too. He hits next. Iowa got 2 runs in the third to take the lead. Minnesota tied it up in the top of the 5th. So much on the line. The season is over for the team that loses here today. Winner plays in the title game tomorrow here in the Midwest. This is over the head of the center fielder Frecking. Duong around second, headed for third. He'll stop there. It's a double for Maddox O'Connor. 2 on, 1 out for Iowa.
All right, well, here we go. After Maddox O'Connor rips one off the center field wall, Blake Larson, has a chance to redeem himself after struggling in the field. Yesterday, it was one big swing of the bat by Mr. Larson that blew this game open, a hanging knuckleball that he launched into right center field. He's already got a 2 RBI double in this ball game and a chance to do more damage now.
Put him on? Okay.
Pemberton comes out, and he's going to intentionally walk Blake Larson.
I think it makes a lot of sense. You set up a force at every base.
Oh, man, hey, you did a good job, hey? We're getting out of here. We still got this.
He's also going to make a pitching change. Anthony Pardo is done on the mound. He'll stay in the ballgame at first base. Iowa threatening here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitching change back in Westfield in a moment. Game, but look at the sportsmanship from Iowa shortstop Maddox O'Connor, who's running the bases right now.
Isn't that cool?
A little pat on the back. Yeah, hey, nice job. You had a great
struggling
game.
with it, man. He was disappointed that he got taken out of the game, and somebody from the other team comes over and tries to lift him up. That's just one of the beautiful parts about Little League baseball. We love to see that.
18, the first baseman, Brody Watson.
So Brody Watson's at the plate. New pitcher for Minnesota, Big Mason Hoheisel.
5 2/3, 15 punch-outs in the regional so far, Clay.
Hits hard, he throws hard. And his first pitch is down and away. Brody Watson today, a couple of strikeouts, one looking. But he does have a home run in this regional.
Wow.
Fouled off, 1-1.
Hoheisel is reaching out and handing it to the catcher. Fastball in the low 70s.
And put that in perspective. You're talking low 70s. What's that equivalent to in the majors?
Yeah, it's a mid-90s fastball. And that doesn't even factor in the reach.
Line drive. Mayo slips and falls. It gets to the wall. It's going to clear the bases. A 3-run triple for Brody Watson. And Iowa's back in the driver's seat.
Wow. How about that? Power on power. Mason Hoheisel throwing gas. And Brody Watson with a laser into right field. What a beautiful move. He hangs in there and shoots it over Miles' head. I don't think he'd have made the play anyway. Clears the bases, and Iowa responds with a 3-spot.
And Stewart jumps on the first pitch from Hoheisel.
And Brody Watson just cool strided into third base. No fist pump, no clapping to the dugout, just as cool as a cat over there as he strided into third base.
It's fouled off the foot of Alex Stewart, who's 0 for 2. You can assume that there was a big sigh of relief in that Iowa dugout, especially after Minnesota got 2 in the top of the inning to tie it up.
.73 miles an hour.
How about the response from Iowa?
Unbelievable. I mean, and it's your stars, right? Duong with an incredible at-bat. O'Connor with a double. They walk Larson. And Watson, who hit a homer yesterday, comes up with a bases-clearing triple.
Still only 1 out. up the middle. That almost took the hat off of Hoheisel. Watson scores. It's 6-2.
Are you kidding me? I mean, we're talking about mid-90s equivalent fastball from Mason Hoheisel, and he has faced 2 hitters, and the boys from Iowa have hit 2 rockets.
And this is Kobe Coonert, the coach's son.
See, there's 71 equals 92. And again, I mean, he is reaching out there on that release point.
Check swing foul.
Pitcher. Pitcher.
Jace Embry led off the inning, grounded out to second against Anthony Pardo. But now 5 straight have reached for Iowa. They have scored 4 runs after Minnesota tied it up in the top of the inning.
Hoheisel had only given up 1 hit in 5 2/3 coming into this outing. First 2 hitters. Line drives.
This into short right center. It gets in for a hit. Slow getting to the bag at second is Alex Stewart, and he is out. Well, Stewart was kind of in that in-between game because if the second baseman Pemberton catches it, he could have been doubled up at first, so he's out at second after the base hit.
Yeah, just couldn't quite read whether it was going to get over, and then he didn't slide, which is probably what cost him a half a step there, and what should have been the 3rd straight base hit ends up being a fielder's choice.
Right.
How about this matchup right here? Braden Shutt versus Mason Hoheisel. We saw it when Hoheisel was up to bat and Shutt was catching. 6'2" versus 4'11".
Shutt with the base hitters last time up. That was against Pardo, and he was very emotional after reaching the base, but he was stranded in the 4th. Hoheisel, who looks like a giant on the mound, doesn't feel very tall right now after coming in and giving up a couple of hits. Iowa scores 4 times, but Minnesota still has a chance in the 6th.
4 runs on 4 hits, 1 runner left on base.
Tonight after the Little League World Series West semifinal here on ESPN, don't miss SportsCenter. We'll break down Sam Darnold's debut with the Jets, plus reaction from Tiger and his 2nd round at the PGA Championship, plus all the sights and sounds from the Little League World Series tonight at 11 Eastern on ESPN. Tiger tees off later this afternoon. You want to play Little League in your community? Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League program near you. Coon Rapids Andover Little League out of Minnesota. Coon Rapids, Andover suburbs of the Twin Cities. This is their last chance now, down 4. Dylan Kirshner at the plate to lead off the 6th. Back up the middle off Duong, base hit. Good start for Minnesota. They need base runners.
Aggressive start. Coming out down 4 to your last at bat. Rip one right back up the box. That's a good way to get it going.
Re-entering the game for Minnesota now, batting
Max Hoheisel will bat here in the 7 spot.
Ball.
Minnesota, they got 2 runs in the 5th against Connor Duong. The last couple of innings they've been able to get base runners. Here's a ground ball. This could be 2. Coonert, O'Connor, Larson, double play. Larson, who moves to first base this inning after having trouble in center field last inning.
Wow, and this is just nicely done. Backhanded play, the flip to O'Connor, who throws a strike to Larson. Now just 1 out away from advancing to the finals.
And Sam Posner representing the last chance for Minnesota. Posner 0 for 1 with her strikeout. He's behind in the count, 0-2. Grandview Little League out of Des Moines, Iowa. The state champs for the 4th time in the last 9 years. 1 strike away from getting to the title game here in the Midwest. You see that pitch count now. It's eking toward the limit. 85 is the limit. Dong would love to get this thing taken care of. Finish it himself. The 2-2. Ground ball. This could end the game. Nice candy hop for O'Connor. And Iowa will play Fargo, North Dakota tomorrow in the region championship.
What a performance. 2 days in a row. They have just really pitched and defended. They took a punch and responded immediately. The top part of the batting order comes through in a monster way. Brody Watson with the big swing of the bat, and Iowa advances to the Midwest Regional Final.
Big smiles, because now Iowa's just 1 win away from the promised land, Williamsport, Pennsylvania. They take care of Minnesota 6-2. They get a rematch with Fargo, who they played well against earlier in the tournament, but lost 4-1. So tomorrow, winner take all. Our final score, Iowa 6, Minnesota 2. Up at the top of the hour, more from the Little League World Series, the New England semis. But for now, we send you to SportsCenter.